Animations always transport us to fascinating universes, but sometimes the hidden connections between these stories are the most surprising. Have you ever wondered if Hotel Transylvania and Monsters Incorporated share the same universe? At first glance, these franchises may seem completely different, but some narrative and visual elements suggest that Dracula's hotel monsters could be the direct ancestors of the modern society of Monstropolis. Let's explore this theory in detail, analyzing clues from the films that might link these two worlds. Dracula created Hotel Transylvania as a sanctuary for classic monsters to escape humans, who hunted them for centuries. Throughout the franchise, we see monsters like Frankenstein, the werewolf, the mummy, and Bigfoot living in the hotel, constantly fearing discovery. In the first movie, Dracula reveals that after his wife was killed by humans, he built the hotel to protect his daughter, Mavis, and the other monsters. The location is described as isolated, nearly impossible to find, hinting at something special in its creation. While the movie doesn't explain this in detail, it's possible the castle has a magical or technological connection that keeps it hidden, almost as if it exists in its own dimension. This idea of a refuge is crucial to the theory. If monsters started by hiding in the hotel over time, they could have realized that isolation wasn't a definitive solution. This could pave the way for the evolution of the monstrous society we see in Monsters Incorporated, where monsters create a more sophisticated system to interact with the human world without being discovered. One of the most important elements in Monsters Incorporated is the magical doors that connect the monsters' world to the human world. These doors are advanced technological tools, but their origin might be linked to the isolation concept of Hotel Transylvania. In the hotel, doors play a symbolic role. They separate monsters from humans and ensure the castle remains secure. Although they're not technological, they embody the idea of creating a barrier to protect the monster world. Now imagine that over generations, the monsters evolved and transformed this concept of a barrier into a form of controlled access to the human world. In Monsters Incorporated, the doors allow monsters to enter children's bedrooms to collect energy from fear or laughter. It's plausible to think this technology was developed based on the initial isolation provided by Dracula's hotel. What once was a magical barrier evolved into an interdimensional system, enabling not just hiding but safe and profitable interaction with the human world. Furthermore, in the third Hotel Transylvania movie, we see monsters on a cruise ship and later confronting a monster hunter. This suggests that even in Dracula's time, monsters were already seeking new ways to coexist with humans, indicating that the transition to the door system in Monsters Incorporated could have been gradual. Now let's talk about the creatures themselves. The monsters in Hotel Transylvania are classic representations of the legends we know: vampires, werewolves, mummies, zombies, and Frankenstein. In contrast, Monsters Incorporated features creatures with much more diverse appearances, with more extravagant and futuristic designs. The theory suggests that the monsters in Monsters Incorporated are direct descendants of Dracula's monsters. This would explain the visual diversity we see in Monstropolis. As monsters evolved and distanced themselves from humans, their physical characteristics also changed to adapt to their new way of life. Sully, for instance, has traits that could be associated with werewolves or Bigfoot, while Mike Wazowski, with his unique appearance, could be an evolution of monsters like the Blob or other creatures we see in the hotel. This physical evolution would metaphorically represent the cultural evolution of monsters, who went from being isolated and fearful to industrialized and organized. Another interesting point is the relationship between monsters and humans. In Hotel Transylvania, we see an important transition. Humans stop being enemies of the monsters and begin to coexist with them. Johnny, the human who marries Mavis, represents the beginning of this integration. In Monsters Incorporated, this relationship is taken to another level, with monsters not only interacting with humans but literally depending on their emotions to survive. A point that further connects the two universes is how monsters deal with human fear. In Hotel Transylvania, monsters initially fear humans because of the violence and persecution they suffered in the past. In Monsters Incorporated, monsters turn fear into an energy source. This transition could be seen as a natural evolution. After centuries of fearing humans, monsters realized that fear could be used advantageously. Later, at the end of Monsters Incorporated, they discover that laughter is even more powerful than fear, symbolizing a complete evolution in the relationship between monsters and humans. This change also reflects the narrative arc of Hotel Transylvania, where monsters learn to live in harmony with humans, moving from fear to friendship. The main contradiction lies in the rules and origins of the worlds. In Hotel Transylvania, monsters coexist with humans on the same physical plane, whereas in Monsters Incorporated, they live in a separate universe accessed by advanced interdimensional door technology, something never mentioned in the hotel movies. Additionally, the hotel monsters are rooted in classic myths and legends, like Dracula, the werewolf, and Frankenstein, while those in Monstropolis are original Pixar creations, with designs not following mythological patterns. Another point is the difference in timelines. Hotel Transylvania takes place in a contemporary world with modern human technologies like airplanes and cell phones, while Monsters Incorporated presents a completely separate industrialized universe, without direct human interaction. Lastly, the absence of Easter eggs or direct references between the franchises, something common in Pixar, suggests no official intent to connect the two universes. Although Hotel Transylvania and Monsters Incorporated are franchises from different studios, many elements suggest a deep connection between their universes. Dracula's hotel could have been the starting point for the evolution of the modern monster society we see in Monstropolis. The magical doors, creature designs, and the relationship between monsters and humans indicate a cultural and technological transition that links these two stories. What do you think of this theory? Could the monsters of Hotel Transylvania really have given rise to the inhabitants of Monstropolis? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue exploring this surprising crossover.